Are there more mudslides in Laguna Beach's future? Some North Laguna residents think so. Their concerns are based on a 5 million gallon water reservoir being built by the Irvine Company near North Laguna homes and the possibility for hillside erosion that could lead to potential mudslides. Residents say they don't believe the Water District has taken appropriate measures to keep graded sections of the construction site from eroding during winter rains and sliding into the Crescent Bay homes. Water District engineer Mark Anderson told City Council members the erosion control plan has been 95% implemented, and Water District officials say they do plan to inform residents whose homes may be at risk if erosion control measures fail in an emergency situation. The city has hired San Diego-based consultants to review the Water District's erosion plan.
As you can see by the mud that's caked all over my body and the chaos that's going on behind me, we're at the annual Marine Corps 10K mud run. It's where the average person can come out and play Marine for the day. It's quite an adventure.
The morning begins with a bus ride into the Lake O'Neill area of Camp Pendleton. This is where all of the participants get registered for the race.
3, 2, 1.
The race starts off like many other races, in two different waves. The open category and the boots and utes category for the hardcore runners. But after the start, it's like no other race. The Armed Services YMCA sponsors the race and donates the proceeds to a Marine Corps charity that supports all of the Marine Corps families at Camp Pendleton.
More mud right around the corner.
And he wasn't joking. It was like swimming in a pool of mud with wires strung every couple of feet. Besides running in the event, the Marines have 150 volunteers that work the event. Although the finish line brought on a great feeling of relief and accomplishment, there were some tough parts on the course.
The hardest part was probably the hill. The hill was pretty bad. But we kept everybody together and we made it up the hill, and here we are.
Fortunately for the runners, the course had many watering stations, and the paramedics were on hand for those that succumbed to the mud.
I think they're absolutely out of their minds.
After the race, it was time to relax, try and get clean, and then enjoy the award ceremony. Even though there was a lot of pain involved, most of the racers will be back again next time for more adventure and fun.
This is Charles Herbert reporting for South Coast News Watch at the Camp Pendleton Mud Run.
As Orange County residents, we know real estate prices can sometimes keep the size of our backyards to a bare minimum. This can and will create problems with our canine friends. A great solution to that problem is the dog park located off Laguna Canyon Road in Laguna Beach. The park is open daily from dawn until dusk, but closed on Wednesdays for maintenance and any time it rains. The Bark Park, as it's affectionately known by the locals, was created almost 5 years ago when the city of Laguna Beach purchased the 2-acre piece of property from the local phone company. Talking with some of the dog owners, I learned that their experiences here seem to be very positive.
I come down here probably at least 3-4 times a week, different times, mostly in the evening, sometimes afternoon and morning. But I have my dog is a golden retriever, and I find the park pretty good for the dogs. You let them off the leash and run, what you can't do normally around where you live.
There are a simple set of rules that must be followed, like picking up after your dog and making sure they're properly licensed. It's another terrific day down here at the dog park. Reporting for South Coast News Watch at the Bark Park in Laguna Beach, this is Charles Herbert. With Saddleback College's presentation of The Mystery of Edwin Drew getting ready to open March 10th, the costume and makeup designer Diane Lewis has her hands full designing and then making each costume that will appear on stage.
I designed the original costumes in conjunction with the director, and then I cut the costumes, I make the patterns, and I have a stitcher, Chris Ortiz, who does the bulk of the stitching.
A great deal of time and effort goes into getting the costumes from the closet to the finished product.
The basic procedure is that I do a lot of research. I study to see what the costumes of the period look like. I read the play. I try to decide what kind of costume would be best. We have a number of discussions with the director to see the director's vision for the play, and then I come up with a number of basic sketches of what I think the costume should look like. Frequently, we will rebuild the costume to suit a particular production. For instance, for the play Miss Julie, we originally made a yellow dress, and then that came back for Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress and was ultimately reused as Cinderella's costume. We added new sleeves and added a special effect to the skirt.
So the next time you're watching an elaborate performance, take time to appreciate what goes on behind the scenes. For South Coast News Watch, I'm Charles Herbert at the costume shop at Saddleback College.
Back to you, Charles.
Thanks, Marissa. The controversy generated by the proposed sale of an Orange County toll road has put the brakes on the deal. California Private Transportation has abandoned its efforts to sell the private 10-mile-long 91 express lanes to Irvine-based developers NewTrack. The decision not to sell the toll road came after weeks of criticism from high-ranking state and local officials, a number of whom said the public would be ill-served by the transaction. NewTrack failed to tell the IRS, Caltrans, and local transit agencies that it was formed in part by the proposed seller of the 91 express lanes, which then lent NewTrack $1 million to prepare for the sale. NewTrack was trying to buy the road from California Private Transportation Company using $225 million in tax-exempt bonds. Thanks, John. We're in Big Bear, California at the Snow Summit Ski Resort, where the finals of the U.S. Amateur Downhill Snowboarding Championships are taking place. The two favorites, Todd Smith and Eric Tonight, have lived up to their billing, with Smith edging out tonight for the top spot by only 0.2 of a second in the first heat. The final heat is scheduled for tomorrow, and that's when experts feel newcomer Troy Dalton, who is currently in third place, will give Smith and Tonight a hard-fought run for the championship. For Fox Sports News, I'm Charles Herbert. Hi, I'm Charles Herbert. Welcome to this edition of Tea Time, where instead of serving up crumpets and Earl Grey tea, we show you how to serve up the long ball. Today we're going to talk about the latest craze to hit the fairways with the PGA players. This rescue club by TaylorMade and some of the other similar clubs like it have become a big hit amongst many of the touring players. This type of club gives you both the distance of a fairway wood and the accuracy of an iron. We're going to talk to Mark O'Meara and Ernie Ailes about this new type of club when we come back, so stay tuned. Hello, I'm Charles Herbert. Welcome to another exciting edition of Cycling World, brought to you by ESPN. Did you know Lance Armstrong started his cycling career by swimming and running also? That's right. More than 10 years ago, Lance was a professional triathlete where he learned how to become an unbeatable time trials racer. The basic skills he learned back then also helped him become this year's Bicycling's Man of the Year. We'll talk more about some of his other lesser-known accomplishments when we come back. Welcome to this edition of Mighty Ducks Extreme. I'm your host, Charles Herbert. Today we're going to show you some of your favorite Mighty Ducks players and the different extreme sports they're involved in outside the rink. I'll give you a hint. Paul Correa, motocross, Timo Sulani, snowboarding. We'll give you all these stories and more when we come back. But first, take a look at this. The unique situation that the Staples Center has with its 4 professional teams calling it home is the conflicts of the schedules that can occur during the year. In fact, several times during the year, the scheduling crew has to turn over the arena from one sport to another. In today's contest, earlier, the LA Kings defeated the San Jose Sharks about a half an hour ago, and in about 4 hours, the LA Clippers will be taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Take a look at this footage. It's quite interesting. That's going to wrap up another exciting edition of Adventure Backpacking in the High Sierras. For the Outdoor Life Network, I'm your host, Charles Herbert. And until next time, stay warm and stay dry.
At 7:25, let's get the latest on the morning commute with Charles Herbert at Airwatch Traffic. Charles?
Thank you, Denise. We're going to take a look at our Caltrans camera, and it's the southbound 5 right at Pioneer. You can see that it's just really crowded out there. That's because of a problem that we had earlier today, a SIG alert northbound past the 605, a spill load of cement. They've cleared it up right now, but it was blocking the 3 left lanes. It created a backup to the 91, just a horrible problem out there. And then over in Yorba Linda, there's a SIG alert on the 91 westbound right before where an SUV and a car rolled over the side, and now we've just learned that at least one person has unfortunately died. The right lane and shoulder is blocked. and the backup right now is almost to the 55 freeway. And that's your exclusive Eyewitness News Airwatch traffic update. Rick, Denise, back to you. Thank you, Denise. In Riverside on the 91 eastbound, right before Adams, 2 right lanes and the off-ramp are blocked right now, and that's going to back you up all the way to Tyler. And that's your exclusive Eyewitness News Airwatch traffic update. David, Denise, back to you.